Hey there, and welcome to Basic Trigonometry Part 2. Alright, so we learned in the last part, SOHCAHTOA, we learned that it means sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So, now we're going to learn when to use the reverse of each of the ratios. So, if we look here, we have this B that's colored in. I just decided to do it that way. We could make it a B, just regular. Anyway, so sine of this colored in B equals opposite, which is 14, over hypotenuse, which is we just wrote as 17 here. And so, how do we do the how do we find the degree for this colored in B? Well, just like in algebra, you have to isolate your variable, which is that colored in B. So, first thing we need to do is put our calculator in degree mode. I don't know if you can see it right there, in degree mode. Okay? And so the opposite of sine would be reverse sine. Now on your calculator, normally you press second function and then you press the ratio that you want. So if you wanted sine, you'd press second function sine and it'll give you a little sine -1, or you do second function cosine, cosine -1, same thing for tangent. Okay, so as long as your calculator is in degree mode, this should work. So, you do the reverse of sine on both sides, and so you do reverse sine of 14 divided by 17, because 14 over 17 is the same thing as 14 divided by 17. So you do the reverse of that operation, the reverse sign of that operation, and you will get the degree for this angle here. Same with cosine. As long as you're using the correct sides, you should be able to get it right. So we're using this angle here, so angle O. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, adjacent right next to. We gave it the value of 10, 14. So cosine of O equals 10 over 14. Once again, reverse cosine, both sides. So if you do you have cosine of O. So if you do reverse cosine, they cancel each other out. Okay? So that's why I just wrote O. Just like in algebra, things cancel each other out. So the reverse cosine of cosine cancels itself out. So the reverse cosine of 10 divided by 14, because 10 over 14 is the same as 10 divided by 14, gives us the degree of that angle right there, 44.415. Okay, next we have angle Z right there, angle Z. Okay, so tangent equals opposite over adjacent. It's the same thing. So tangent of angle Z equals 15 over 17. Z equals reverse tangent of 15 divided by 17. So you get your answer right there, 41.424. Here's our second part of this second part of basic trigonometry. So, finding that there is more than one answer to a trig problem. Okay, to do that, first we need to look at the graphs, okay? I can't remember what it's called, but this is sort of a section for each, never mind, we'll cover that later. It's just like the graph, you know, with the 4 quadrants, okay? There's X and there's Y, okay? So the sine graph curves starting from 0, 0, curves up, touches 180, curves down and starts to go back up to 360. The cosine graph, sorry I made a little mistake here, forget about that right there. The cosine graph curves down, touching 190, going up, hits 270, and continues. And the tangent graph, it's a little wonky. It curves up just before 90, just right there. Okay, curves this weird little curvy thing that curves up past 180 and just behind it, and curves up to 360 just like that. Okay. Solve for x when when x is between 0 and 360 degrees to 3 decimal places. Okay, well, if you go through, you will get the answer the calculator gave you, which is 37.95. Okay, so if you draw a quick little sketch of the cosine graph, just like I have already done here. Okay, sorry I was experimenting here. I place 37.95, which is the answer I got from the calculator here. Now if you look at the symmetry of the graph,